Is there anyone here? Also went through the social media feeds on people discussing Tommy Robinson's arrest, and it's a really big irony because they're calling it Orwellian. What they don't realise is that the Orwellian thing of a double think is actually the disparity between the actual situation and what they think, or maybe they're told the situation is. Because they are saying that Tommy Robinson was arrested because the state want to censor him, and that the state are, or rather they're saying, this is a demonstration that Britain is broken. I want to now demonstrate to you that that is not correct, and hopefully, if you're a Tommy Robinson supporter, I'm not asking you to stop your support for him, I'm just asking you to face the reality of the situation. I'm going to read to you, I'm going to start with reading to you the wording of what contempt of court in terms of publication actually means. Strict liability publication contempt. Section 1 of the Contempt of Court Act 1981 sets out and defines the strict liability rule. This provides that it is a contempt to publish any matter which creates a substantial risk of serious prejudice or impediment to the course of justice in legal proceedings, irrespective of the intention behind the publication. So, because nobody really knows what the restrictions are in terms of like what I might say about this, I'm going to just talk hypothetically. Let's just talk about a hypothetical man. Say 1 year ago, a man was found in contempt of court because he was broadcasting from outside of an active courthouse where a case was going on, and he was attempting essentially to identify the defendants and so-called interview them. And during that broadcast, he was insinuating that they were guilty before they had actually been found guilty. That's what would bring you into contempt of court. Let's now say that about 1 year later, whilst on a suspended sentence for contempt of court, a man goes to an active courthouse while a case is going on, before the people have actually been found guilty or not guilty. They were broadcasting a live stream videoing the defendants as they went in, and the wording that they were using was prejudicial, meaning they were sort of insinuating that they were guilty even before they had been found innocent or guilty. Live streaming the broadcast, I mean, a jury member could be sitting in the court on their lunch break, flicking through the internet, watching interesting live streams. They may come across a live broadcast from outside that courthouse where somebody is insinuating, without being privy to all of the evidence, and basically just insinuating that somebody is innocent or guilty based on prejudice. That is contempt of court, and it is very open and shut. There's a section on risk where it says, risk is judged at the time of publication. The longer the gap between publication and the trial, known as the fade factor, the less substantial risk of serious prejudice is likely to be. The fade factor in a live stream is non-existent. That is about as serious as it gets. If you're a TV production company and you are videoing some footage from outside an active court case which you don't publish for maybe 1 year, then that is not contempt of court. Live streaming has no fade factor at all. It is the most serious breach of the rules. And this hypothetical man, you would have thought, would know that. Can you see what I'm getting at? One of the things that, well, if Tommy Robinson supporters are into preserving Western values of freedom, democracy, it should also be the preservation of the principle of having access to a fair trial. You are innocent until proven guilty. Even if you think somebody is guilty of something, or you even know that somebody is guilty of something, they still have to be given access to a fair trial. And prejudicial behaviour live streamed from outside of an active courthouse is illegal for a reason, because it prohibits people from having a fair trial. In fact, people in the past who are almost obviously guilty of something have walked free out of courthouses because people have prejudiced the jury. So really, Tommy's actions, you could say, are themselves dissolving the structure of what he says he's wanting to preserve. Did you hear when the guy shouted, "You all watched Tommy Robinson's video," talking about the live stream outside the court that got him into trouble. "You all watched Tommy Robinson's video?" And they were like, "Yeah." And he said, "Did you see him do anything wrong?" And they shouted, "No." They didn't see him do anything wrong. They didn't see him or perceive him doing anything wrong. But he did actually do something wrong. It's quite clear that he prejudiced through publication, or he possibly prejudiced a jury through publication. And bearing in mind that that court case that he possibly prejudiced was put together over a series of so many years, he could have essentially destroyed the entire case single-handedly. So yes, Tommy Robinson did something wrong. He broke the law. In fact, in terms of what the wording is for contempt of court through publication, it's an open and shut case.